Last time we saw more of Goku's training, as well as the new allies he was working with. But unbeknownst to everyone, there's a new enemy on Earth as well. The final villain of the story, who we'll be seeing more of today. We'll be exploring all that and more in this finale of What If Goku Became Kami. Left bewildered by Cell's attack, Hedo has no clue what to do next. Sure, at the very least he's going to make the Gammas, but the thing is he doesn't know how to do it. At least in the terms of what course of action is best. If he had enough time, he could make them a lot stronger, but first of all, he's kind of on a time limit. He doesn't know when Cell's going to attack or what he's going to do. And second of all, they don't know Cell's true strength at all. Sure, Hedo does have some data on him, but after he became perfect, all of that data became irrelevant. But even if he did have an accurate measurement for his strength, he's built the Gammas, but he's short on time. He starts getting them ready as quickly as possible. As for Cell himself, he also wonders what his next course of action is. He tries to look around and see if Goku's here, but he can't sense him anywhere. So there's a few things that are weird for Cell. For one, he doesn't have Goku's current DNA or data. Whenever Goku's on Earth, he's rarely on the surface, and Cell's drones never know when to actually go up to the lookout to find him, and that's even if they did go up to the lookout. To be very safe, the computer didn't send any of the drones up there, because first of all, it's kind of hard to track in general. The lookout itself moves, and people could just teleport up there, so there's not really an easy way to follow them. But on top of that, the drones knew they'd be easy to notice if they went up there. And the computer didn't actually realize that Goku has to approve of anything going onto the lookout in the first place, so he'd probably be able to detect them somehow, despite being mechanical. So that explains why he doesn't have Goku's current DNA or data, but that doesn't mean he doesn't have updated data. He does have some pretty good data on Goku, from the rare times he's on the surface. Plus, of course, all the updated data of everyone else. At some point a while ago, the drones did stop collecting data, but it started getting more when they realized how strong Goku was getting, as well as the people around him. So as a result, Cell is pretty improved, and he has to get everyone's attention somehow. So he does the best thing possible. He goes right to the lookout. Now there's no need to be covert, and it would be the best way to find Goku, which is going to be pretty easy for him since he could teleport. He arrives on the lookout, immediately being noticed by those up there. Right now it's just Chi-Chi, Goten, and Piccolo, as well as Mr. Popo, of course. Well, looks like Goku's not here, but he wants to draw him out somehow, and he asks them where he could find Goku. Of course, they're completely dumbfounded for a few reasons, because who is this guy, how did he get up here, and why does his ki feel like that? It looks like they didn't understand, so he'll ask again. He lifts up a hand this time and charges a blast. Not aiming at them, but the lookout itself. Where is Goku? Immediately Chi-Chi and Goten vanish, and Cell senses a huge increase in power. They're teleporting around the lookout rapidly so Cell can't track them, but he is able to keep up with what they're doing. Chi-Chi's using Evolved Kaioken right now, having practiced with this herself a while ago. And as for Goten, he looks to be in Super Saiyan but has much longer hair. He's then hit by a powerful Kamehameha from the front, one from Chi-Chi, with one coming from behind two from Goten. And then from his right, Piccolo's there launching a Masenko. All the attacks hit together, and Cell is impressed at all their power, but he's also completely unfazed by these attacks. Well, it doesn't seem like Goku's here at the moment, but at least this might be able to draw him out. They don't even need to question who he is, because Chi-Chi has a similar power to Goku's where she can look into people's minds. And the second Cell came up here, that's exactly what she did. She knows who he is and what his objective is. They know he's a threat, and they know they need to stop him. Cell's about to launch a counterattack, but someone then rockets through the lookout from below, tackling into him. And Chi-Chi yells at him to be more careful. Don't destroy the lookout like that. And Piccolo says the same thing. It's Vegeta that came to attack. And also flying up through the hole that he made is Gohan. Of course, Vegeta lives on the surface, but Gohan started to live on the surface too, trying to live a more normal human life. Vegeta, of course, just flew up here on his own. And right after Gohan sensed all this, he just teleported to where Vegeta was. So, Cell tries to ask them the same question. Do they know where Goku is? Because he really does want to fight him. And Vegeta says that doesn't really matter. Goku currently isn't on this planet, which means that Cell must not be interesting enough for Goku, because he's constantly watching over. Of course, these are just fighting words from Vegeta, but there is some truth into them, because Vegeta thinks that he alone can beat Cell, and with Gohan's help it'll be even easier. They don't know the full extent of Cell's power just yet. This does interest Cell though, because he knows these two are probably the strongest on Earth right now, so in the meantime he will fight them. It's going to be much more fun to do it this way than going right to the strongest. But he tells Vegeta to choose his words carefully. He really doesn't know what type of opponent he's facing. And Goten warns them of the same thing, with them looking down at him to notice that he's in Super Saiyan 3 right now. Before those two arrived, Goten was the strongest person here, and seeing him worn out, using his full power, and not having done any sort of damage to Cell, that kinda tells them what they need to know. As Cell begins to show more power, he says that maybe if he were in his imperfect form, all 5 of them could beat him together. But even then, there's not really a high chance of that. And this is based off his previous data, with Vegeta and Gohan then showing their full strength too. Vegeta goes blue, and then he asks if Gohan's ascended to Super Saiyan God yet, but Gohan says it's fine. It seems like they just need to buy some time right now, and despite him being in a lower form, he's pretty much on par with Vegeta in terms of power. And not because Vegeta's weak by any means, it's just that Gohan's strong. He's mastered Super Saiyan, but Vegeta's a true master of the form if anything, being the first one to unlock it and all the secrets behind it, and he'll show Cell the fruits of all that training. Gohan and Vegeta fight together against Cell briefly, and then Cell just decides to leave the fight. He tells them this is pretty fun, but they should do it in a better setting, especially with Goku here. Why don't they do a tournament of sorts? They should all have fun with that, shouldn't they? Maybe he was too hasty coming up here, especially without Goku being here at the moment. He says they'll all get the chance to fight soon, they're just going to need to wait a bit, because Cell has a much more fun idea of how to do this. And he tells them to watch the news later. He teleports back down to the surface and Vegeta says they should go chase him. Chi-Chi could just teleport right to him, can't she? But she says that's a bad idea. First of all, he's around people. If they try to fight him there, he's going to be destroying cities. And that's not from them fighting, that's just from him powering up. He's going to have no regard for the environment around them. Plus, even if they did go down there, she knows that they can't all match him, especially if what he said is true. Vegeta thinks it's ridiculous. There's no way he could be that powerful. Sure, Cell held his own against Vegeta and Gohan together, but there's no way he's that powerful. Chi-Chi says it's true though, explaining more to everyone of what he really is, as well as his abilities and such. And they wonder when Goku's going to show up. He's definitely watching and waiting for the right time to join in. The thing is, what Vegeta said is kinda true. This is partially just due to how Goku is in general, and kinda what he saw from Kami as well before he became Kami. First of all, Goku wants to approximate if Cell is really a threat to everybody around them. He wants to give everyone else a chance to fight him and show their strength. He knows they worked hard for their power and want to use it. So this is partially him letting them have their fun, and also not being there to bail them out in every sort of circumstance. But that doesn't mean Goku doesn't take it seriously. From where he's watching, he can see that Cell is kinda like him in a way. He just wants a good fight. And he's not going to threaten anyone until he gets that fight. The Cell games arrive a few days later, and there's some interesting people there. Obviously Gohan, Goten, Chi-Chi, Vegeta, and Piccolo all joined. But there's two mysterious fighters that show up, people that no one recognizes, not even Cell. At least not at first. They also clearly don't look human and they don't have ki, and they offer to fight first as well. But then everyone notices the logo that they're wearing. Well, at the very least, Cell, Chi-Chi, and Piccolo recognize it. Piccolo remembers seeing that when he was Kami before, and Chi-Chi's heard about it from Goku. The logo of the Red Ribbon Army. And Cell could tell what's going on here. These are two more androids made to fight him. They must have been made by Dr. Hedo, which means he survived somehow. That's surprising, and this actually might be an interesting fight. Of course, Hedo tried everything in his power to try and shut Cell down somehow, but there was nothing he could do, especially with what Cell told Hedo beforehand. So the best option was to make androids to fight Cell directly. Gamma 1 goes up first. Had Hedo had more resources and time, he could have made more Gammas, stronger Gammas. But this is the best he could do, and they're actually surprisingly powerful. Of course, Cell can't sense any of their power, so he doesn't get a full gauge of their strength, but fighting Gamma 1 gives him a good idea how strong these androids are. It seems like Hedo made androids stronger than anybody else on Earth, at least individually. If he was imperfect against these two androids, he'd have no shot at winning. But he's two forms beyond that. He ends up defeating Gamma 1, and Gamma 2's up next, who pretty much has the same strength as Gamma 1, so he's defeated just as easily. And then Gamma 2 asks Gamma 1, why are they even following the tournament rules? Why don't they just attack him together? But Gamma 1 says not to be foolish. That's probably just going to anger him and cause him to just destroy everyone on the spot. And Cell can overhear them and says, yeah, he's kind of right. But at the same time, now that he thinks about it, the tournament style's kind of boring, especially because he knows he's going to easily beat everybody here. He did want to give them a fair chance, but you know what? How about all of them attack him at once? It could still be tournament style. He'll just keep beating them until someone beats him. So, despite all the theatrics from before, just like the normal Cell did in the original story, he just destroys the arena. This will be far more entertaining. And together, everyone comes at him, even with the Gammas fighting alongside them. And now Cell's starting to have fun, showcasing a little bit more of his strength and his abilities. But he's still not at full power and he's not being pressured at all. And Hedo is watching remotely through the Gammas. It's just as he expected. The Gammas were rushed, and they don't know Cell's true strength, so he couldn't really make them as strong as he wanted to, especially with the lack of resources. But as he's watching, he notices two people teleport in. Goku and Majin Buu arrive. And they all ask where Goku's been, but honestly, he said he thought they could handle it. And it's not because of him being reckless, it's because he truly believed that everyone could handle it. But now that he sees Cell's full power, or at least a portion of it, he decided to intervene now. He's been waiting and watching, and he was ready to teleport in the moment he knew it would be dangerous. Actually, he could have waited a little bit longer, but he wanted to be on the safe side. Buu goes around and heals everyone as Goku talks with Cell. And Cell's glad to finally see him here. And with no waiting, Goku immediately turns into his Crimson Kai form. Although he asks Cell, is this going to be enough to fight him? As far as Cell knows, this is his strongest state. And it should be a fun challenge, but Goku and Cell both know this isn't going to be enough, surprisingly. The two of them start dueling. It's so fast that no one else can even track it. And Goku's getting pretty excited from this too. He's fighting someone for once that is actually pushing him. And of course he's fought Beerus before too. But that was different. Despite the serious nature of that fight, he knew that there wasn't any real stakes with that. He knew he wasn't going to die. But here, there's real stakes. Although, Goku is holding back a little bit. And Cell could sense it too. Goku's hiding something, isn't he? It's true. Cell's the strongest opponent Goku's fought, which includes Beerus. But even despite that, Goku's still holding back for some reason. And he says yeah, he is hiding something. He reaches into his pocket and pulls out 2 earrings. He says he'll need someone's help with this. And he turns to Gohan and Vegeta, who wants to fight Cell with him. They don't have a clue of what he's talking about, but Vegeta immediately volunteers. With Goku then explaining what he means, throwing a Potara earring to Vegeta. Wait, they're fusing? Like Piccolo and Kami did? Well, this is going to be temporary, so don't worry. but it's going to create a really strong fused fighter, and it's going to give Vegeta an opportunity to fight even more. Vegeta shouldn't have volunteered for this, but whatever, he goes for it. He wonders if Gohan would have been better to fuse with, but both Gohan and Vegeta are pretty much on equal footing, and both should be somewhat around the same level of compatibility with Goku. He even considered fusing with Buu, but he doesn't know the compatibility of that. If Cell wants a fun battle, they'll give him that. So Goku and Vegeta fuse, using the Potara for the first time, and a brand new fighter is born, naming himself Vegeta. You see, Goku's actually learned about the Potara from the other Kais. He knows this fusion won't be permanent for them, and they should probably be careful with the power because if they use too much, the fusion might expire right away. So Vegeta starts powering up, and he makes a weird surprised face, like he just now realized the extent of his power. But that face quickly becomes a look of determination, as Vegeta showcases his own power beyond Crimson Kai, and it takes on an odd appearance. It's a mix of Goku's Crimson Kai and Vegeta's blue. Given the fusion's hair a light purple color, Vegeta wants to give this form a unique name for himself, and since it's his version of Crimson Kai essentially, he'll call this Violet Vegito. The alliteration's pretty nice. Vegito and Cell then vanish, teleporting to the world of Kai, just so they could fight all out and not worry about the people around them. But back on Earth, Gamma 1 and 2 say they need to deliver a message to Goku. Chi-Chi says she could deliver it. Vegito then hears a voice in his head and it's coming from Earth. It's from the Gammas who got this message from Hedo, and Hedo says no matter what, they need to make sure they destroy Cell completely. Every little bit of him needs to go or else he'll regenerate. And Vegito says that won't be a problem. Vegito knows to maintain his power here so he doesn't run out of the fusion. He's in a safe spot that won't damage anyone or any of the surroundings around him. All of the other Kais are on the other side of the planet, watching on kinda terrified through a crystal ball, and Cell thanks them both for this. This will be a truly amazing battle. And he thanks Goku specifically for coming up with this. Cell showcases his full power and he doesn't transform, but he does use Evolved Kaioken. The two clash, darting around the planet while they do so. And the first thing Cell notices is Vegito's speed. Not just the speed of his attacks and how he moves, but he could dodge and counter a lot of Cell's attacks really easily too. Plus, he has all the abilities and magic of Goku. Vegito sticks both his hands out to the side, spawning dozens of blocks of Kachi on each side of him, flinging them all at Cell. Cell weaves through them, dodging some of them and destroying some others. But this is a distraction for Vegito. He hops through all the blocks of Kachi, jumping off each one onto another, and as he hops around rapidly, he throws Ki Blast around them. Cell then charges a bunch of Ki, unleashing it as it explodes around him, vaporizing all the blocks of Kachi, but left behind is all of Vegito's blast, surrounding Cell like a Hellzone grenade. Although, they don't all come towards him like a blast of Ki. Vegito sticks a hand out at Cell, piercing a sword right through him, and all those Ki blasts he made do the same, with each one turning into a spear of Ki, and Cell gets pierced by them from every angle. Vegito would love to test out Cell's power even more, but he can't. He has a responsibility to defeat Cell here. Sure, Goku has tried to purify enemies before too, but he can't take that risk here. Not only is Cell the strongest villain they've ever seen, but as far as Goku knows, he's probably like the other androids, completely hardwired to be like this. And because of his extreme power, Shenron can't even reverse that. For all Vegito knows, he might be capable of change, but Goku and by extension the fused fighter can't take that risk. With one hand, Vegito paralyzes Cell, and in the other he charges a one-handed Kamehameha, but it takes on a purple hue instead of a blue one. The encounter was short, but Vegito thanks Cell for it. He probably shouldn't be using a technique like this, but hey, they gotta do whatever they can. Vegito launches a one-handed Kamehameha, imbued with destructive energy, and Vegito uses all his power for this. The power of the attack destroys Cell, and the destructive energy erases him, ensuring he won't regenerate either. And with all of his power put into this blast, Vegito then immediately defuses. Once again, Earth is defended, as well as the entire universe. But Vegito tells Goku he knows what he was hiding. He'll keep his secret from the others because apparently Goku wanted to keep this under wraps. But he has a form beyond Crimson Kai, doesn't he? That's why Vegito was so surprised at first, because the Vegeta side of him didn't realize that he had that power. And Goku says Vegeta's right. He almost did use it against Cell, and they could have used it as Vegito, but it might have drained the fusion too quickly, and it might have drained Goku too quickly if he used it beforehand. But he'll give Vegeta a demonstration of it. By now he's long surpassed the gods of destruction, and not just through Crimson Kai. For a brief moment, Goku shows off Ultra Instinct, a truly amazing form that Vegeta can't even comprehend, only knowing about it through Vegito. But Goku immediately powers down, being kinda worn out from fighting Cell. Soon enough he'll be using it with perfect efficiency. But for now, he'll keep working on it, and he hopes Vegeta keeps working on his power too. He's proud of how strong everyone on Earth has grown, even without him around most times. But he knows they could all go even further, especially now because they might have two new allies alongside them, the two Gammas. Plus, they all gotta formally meet Buu and hang out with him a little bit too. He's been a really great training partner for Goku, and Goku wonders if they'll ever encounter an enemy like Cell again. But if they do, Goku's ready for that day, and he knows Earth will be as well. He hopes he's making Kami proud and doing the position well. This is where we end off our series. What'd you guys think about this story? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to see what you guys think. As usual, be sure to drop a like and subscribe if you haven't already. It really does help out the channel and shows me you want to see more like this. Anyways, thank you all for watching, thanks for supporting the series all the way through, and I'll see you all in my next video.